listening to the Sheena Metal Experience with your host, Sheena Metal, right here on LA Talk Radio.
That's right. It's the Sheena Metal Experience right here on LA Talk Radio. For more info on the show, latalkradio.com, SheenaMetalExperience.com. Don't forget to email me and let me know what you think of the show. My next guest is also making her debut here on the show. She has a wonderful new show. It's called The Hebrew Hillbilly, 50 Shades of Oy Vey. Fantastic at the Santa Monica Playhouse, April 11th at 8 p.m. Please welcome to the show for the very first time, the wonderful Shelley Fisher is here. Shelley, welcome, my friend.
Well, hi, Sheena. How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you? Boy, it's great to have you here on the show.
Well, it's great to be here on the show. I've heard so many wonderful things about you, and I just love your name. It is so musical. Reminds me of hard rock.
Thank you, baby. I love your accent. Where are you from?
Well, thank you for asking. I'm actually born and raised in the Mississippi Delta in Memphis, Tennessee. It makes me cry every time I say it.
That's beautiful. I'm a granddaughter of the South. My mom is from Louisville, Kentucky.
Well, you have a great opportunity to drink and wear hats once a year.
Honey, I'm Irish. We drink and wear hats every day.
Oh, well, that's fantastic. And we drink and wear something every day in Memphis. It's really a unique town because it's built on the river, and everybody says we have the greatest river bluff in the world. And as a matter of fact, Sheena, one of my lead songs is called Bluff City Baby because Memphis is built on a bluff, and so is everybody else from everywhere.
Oh, that's fantastic. Now, when did you know you wanted to get into the arts? When did you know that this was your path?
I think it was straight out of my mama's womb.
So you were a kid that was always putting on plays and trying to get in pageants and do fun things that were artistic?
Did you say autistic?
Well,
was yeah.
I have friends that say that there's a very fine line between autism and artism.
Well, there must be. We could get into a big conversation about that. Actually, I had the opportunity to teach autistic children, and what you're saying is absolutely correct. I mean, we're all kind of in this mess together, and we have so many qualities that overlap.
Yeah, I agree, and it's funny because I've had guests on the show that were on the spectrum or that taught people that were on the spectrum, and they always say, and I've taught people that were on the spectrum, and they always say, you're so good at it, and I say, well, you know what? As an artist, you're not really on the same wavelength as quote-unquote normal people anyhow, so I totally understand anybody's difference.
Thank God.
So how long have you been out here in L.A.? What drew you to La La Land?
What brought me to the same thing that brings most everybody else, the quest for fame and fortune.
Yeah.
And, like everybody else, I thought I would be an instant star, but instead of that, I got knocked up by an Italian.
Oh, here in Los Angeles? That dirty deed happened here?
That's correct, but actually, it's the best thing that ever happened to me because I have a beautiful daughter, and maybe she's listening and maybe not. We didn't have a whole lot of time to let people know that this great opportunity was happening this afternoon. But I do have a wonderful daughter named Melissa, and she is the light of my life.
That's beautiful.
Hello?
No, that's beautiful. And she's not schizophrenic from growing up in an Italian Jewish household?
Well, you are perceptive. Well, not so far. It hasn't shown out. They say it skips a generation. I think being raised by me was a little bit, I would never call myself schizophrenic, but I'm definitely on the artistic fringe, and maybe temperamental. Of course, I wouldn't admit that to people one-on-one, but over the radio it's different, right?
Yeah, over the radio it's anonymous. It's almost like Catholic confession, but just a little less anonymous than that, but more anonymous than telling your best friend.
You are really cool. Well, have you got any kids?
I do not have kids. No, my kids all have fur. So if by kids you mean a grumpy gray cat or a completely elderly Pomeranian, then yes, I have two.
Oh, well, everybody, I don't have cats, although we have a popular song called Chasing the Cat in my show that I think my PR guy sent you some MP3s, and, of course, singers love to sing and be heard, so if you want to play something, I won't feel bad about it. But raising my daughter, for me, was an incredible experience. And I guess the worst thing that happened is that she moved out, but I guess that turned out to be a benefit because I went back into show business, which I've always been in show biz.
Right.
My mother was an entertainer. She was actually Al Jolson's cousin, and she toured the East Coast.
Wow.
In the 40s. And my dad was a concert violinist from Russia. So, and I was born and raised in Memphis, Tennessee, with the groove of Beale Street. Right there, basically in my back door. And I happened to hear all the blues greats, B.B. King, Albert King, up and down Beale Street. And it's such a raw, infectious beat that it just takes hold of you. And then, of course, rhythm and blues just blew out of that with Stax Records. And I had the opportunity to work with some of the Stax Records greats like Steve Cropper from Booker T and the MGs.
Absolutely,
and
yeah.
Rufus Thomas's son, Marvell. Rufus Thomas had that big hit, My Bucket's Got a Hole in It, and Funky Chicken. And then, of course, rock and roll broke wide open. And it was just an incredible time for music and, cross-cultural grooves. I just can't explain it. You had to have been there. I did have the opportunity to know Elvis, and Sheena flew all the way from Memphis, Tennessee to Los Angeles, California with the King himself, and that whole episode is in my show. And actually, I'm not supposed to tell you this, but Elvis is going to be there in person.
Oh.
Or at least the
thank you very much.
facsimile thereof on April 11th. I sure do want you to come as my guest to my show.
Wow, I would love that. And I want to play some of your music. I'm just downloading it now so you can tell me what you want me to play. What was Elvis like? Did you love him?
Well, of course everybody loves Elvis, but nobody's exactly like you think they are. Like in my song, things ain't what they seem. Elvis was a person who had gifts and demons.
Sure.
Like we all have.
Yes.
As we just saw in the Academy Award-winning movie Birdman, I think that we're all a little bit of that.
Sure, I agree.
Kind of part self-obsessed and part self-loathing. And Elvis was no different. And, of course, he was as scared as anybody else because when you're a country boy from Tupelo, Mississippi,
sure,
and Memphis, Tennessee is the biggest place you've ever been, honey, you're in a world of trouble if you become a star because you ain't had no training. So all of a sudden the world wants you, and you're really not sure who you are. And, of course, the people want you because of who they perceive that you are.
Yeah.
But night after night, you have to recreate that first impression, and I think that it really took Elvis out. However, he was extremely polite. He was a real gentleman. He did wear a lot of makeup. And that's all I'm going to tell your listeners. They're going to have to come out and see the Hebrew Hillbilly, 50 Shades of Orzay at the Santa Monica Playhouse, April 11th.
I've never heard before that he wore a lot of makeup. I'm loving that story, let me just say. And it's interesting what you said about Birdman and about self-obsession. I think the interesting thing about being an artist, or as we mentioned earlier, having artism,
yes,
is that
I love that artism. That's right. I have a lot. I'm a very artistic. I'm still here in one piece.
We have, as artists, I think we're 50% self-obsessed and 50% we belong to the world. So we're always completely turned in and completely turned out at the same time. And I think that's a very different way for a person to be.
I don't know because I wouldn't know any different. Okay, I do meet other people that aren't like me, and I just won't comment because they have a right to life. But artistic people are, like you say, are very unique. And in a sense, we move to the beat of our own drummer. It's only a one-handed drummer. And I've always been this way. And a day without a creative idea for me is really pretty sorry day.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Okay, so let me ask you one more thing, and then I'm going to play some music. How did a nice Jewish family wind up in Memphis?
Now, that's a great question, and you'll see it in my show. But the story that my daddy told me, and I'm sorry to tell you, he died when he was only 45 years old, and I was 12, and that's in the show as well. My daddy told me that he escaped from Russia amidst the gunfire of the revolution and landed at Ellis Island. He told me that the Statue of Liberty winked at him and told him to go down south. And so he went down south, And it wasn't exactly easy being anybody from Russia, much less a Russian Jew in those days, because bilingual was something that had not been even thought about, much less invented.
Yeah.
But he did a great job. He became an attorney at law, and he met my mom. My mom was a singer, and she was touring with her show, so the apple didn't fall very far from the tree, and then they had me. And I just was always attracted to music. I can't remember a day on earth when I haven't loved music, and it's the backbeat of my life. People that are in music know that I'm preaching to the choir. We love it.
I think that's beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful, my friend. Okay, so what are you feeling? What do you want me to play? I've got, of course, Mike Pinkel is your publicist, and he's my very good friend. And he sent me a bunch of stuff. And isn't he a darling boy? He really is one of the most darling people I know.
He's darling, and I call him ready to mingle Pingle.
Nice. Now that sounds almost like his pro wrestling name.
Oh, I like that. Can you picture him in the mud?
Yeah, let's get ready to mingle. Let's get ready to mingle!
Mingle with Mike Pingle in the ring.
It's fantastic. Well, what would you like? What would you like me to play? What do you like?
Well, I don't know what you have in there. This was, we just kind of did this in a hurry, but that's okay because that makes life more fun and spontaneous.
We did just kind of do this, didn't we?
Well, the name of my CD, not to interrupt you, Sheena, is Rockin' in Memphis. And it kind of is a good lead-on and picture of my life and largely what the show is about, because the show deals with growing up in Memphis with big rock and roll dreams and finding out that things really ain't what they seem. And at the end of the day, for you, probably there ain't no place like Kentucky. And for me, there ain't no place like Memphis, Tennessee.
So I love that.
If you have that, I'd love for you to play that.
I got it. This is Rockin' in Memphis, and this is the title track from the CD, Shelley?
Yes, and I must say that it is co-written by Ken Hirsch, who's a very famous songwriter. Y'all can Google him, Kenny Hirsch, and yours truly, Shelley Fisher.
I love that. Let's do it. This is Shelley Fisher, Rockin' in Memphis. Shelley's my guest all this hour. It's the Sheena Metal Experience on LA Talk Radio. We're going to take a quick break for this great music, and then we're right back with you with more Shelley and me.
Y'all ready for this? Memphis. We're rocking in Memphis. New York City never sleeps, but I need to hear that rebel beat. Everybody's moving too fast. I've gotta slow down, make it last. Muddy Mississippi calls my name. In my heart I'm just a southern dame. Only place for me, Memphis, Tennessee. We're rocking in Memphis, Memphis. I've been to San Francisco, walked that Golden Gate. Air is fresh, view is great. Hollywood, it's just divine, but I need to be below the Mason-Dixon line. Muddy Mississippi calls my name. In my heart, I'm just a southern dame. Only place for me, Memphis, Tennessee. We're rocking in Memphis, Memphis. Cornbread, barbecue, rock and roll, rhythm and blues. Beale Street all night long. Got that soul, got that song. Baby King, play your blues. Mississippi Delta man, pay your dues. Elf baby, it's alright. Love me tender through the night. Muddy Mississippi calls my name. In my heart I'm just a southern dame. Only place for me, Memphis, Tennessee. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Muddy Mississippi calls my name. In my
That's Shelley Fisher, Rockin' in Memphis, from her album of the same name. Shelley's my new best friend here all this hour on the show. Wow, hot damn, girl. Well, I don't even know what to say. That was amazeballs. Wow.
Well, thank you, Sheena. I just can't wait to have you at my show. I'm going to bring you up on stage. Can you sing?
I can't sing like that, but I can sing a little bit. Every Irishman from Kentucky can sing a little.
Well, I love the Irish people, and I would love to have you come on stage with me on April 11th. Can I tell them how they can find out more about my show?
Please.
Hillbilly.com. And they can buy my album and CD, Rockin' in Memphis, at cdbaby.com or rockininmemphis.com. Everything you can get through Hillbilly.com. Let's have the opportunity to share my story and my music and your millions of listeners, because my story is just like a story. It's a story that celebrates diversity, dreams, and determination to never give up, and most of all, it's full of a lot of fun and music.
I love that.
And at the end of the day, we all have to find a way to keep on going. And in my case, as I mentioned earlier, it was having my beautiful daughter, Melissa, and finding purpose beyond the Hollywood sign. And that's about it.
Yeah. And then now how do you feel? How long have you been in L.A. now, and how do you feel about it?
How long have I been around you?
How long have you been in Los Angeles, and how are you feeling about it? What did you think of it when you first came, and what do you think about it now?
Well, am I supposed to be honest?
Yeah, please, always honest.
I think L.A. is one of the most unique, excuse me, there's some people in the lobby. Can you hear me?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Anyway, I think L.A. is one of the most unique places I've ever been, because there's so many different people and so many different neighborhoods, and it's kind of strung together by a zip code and a wing and a prayer.
Sure.
So that I do not feel that this is my home, even though I've been here for well over 20 years, because my daughter was born here.
Right.
I appreciate it. I think L.A. is one of those love-hate kind of towns. I don't know. How do you feel about it?
You know what? I have loved it from the minute I moved here. I'm originally from New Haven, Connecticut, and I've been here since I was 13. I grew up at the beach in Huntington Beach, California, which I think is beautiful, but moves a little slow for me. I moved to the San Fernando Valley right when I got out of college. So I've been in the Valley for 24 years this month, and I love it. I get all of the things that people don't like about it and why, but I think when you look beyond all of those things, you find the true artists and the true people that are really into art and to make art for the world and find the emotional and spiritual purposes behind making art. And I have built the most beautiful, wonderful, organically authentic and humble tribe of people that I ever could have hoped to find anywhere in the world. Here.
Well, you know what? I'm going to say that that's profound, and amen to that, because as much as I don't like the traffic and this and that and this and that, I don't know if a girl like me could have done as well as I've done, for sure, in Memphis.
Yeah.
Because as much as I love my hometown, I think the things I love about it are the things that make it a little bit backwards. They're not real advanced in some ways when it comes to opportunities for women.
Sure.
And dealing with people that are non-stereotypical. And don't get me wrong, I love my hometown.
Yeah.
When I go home and people do buy my CD, they will see that the picture was just taken in September. They brought me back for some massive shows in my hometown, and they say you can't go home, but I did. And I've never been treated any better than that any place.
Yeah.
And they had a photographer, and I had my picture taken on the banks of the muddy Mississippi, behind the old Mississippi River Bridge that takes you across the bridge to Arkansas to the old plantation inn. We're dancing the dirty boogie, Sheena.
Oh, the dirty boogie.
Yep. Being Lord have mercy, girl.
Yep.
So, and I can still smell the barbecue.
Yep.
Okay? And we are, a couple thousand miles? We have this event that my mother convinced me was for my birthday, because my birthday is May 13th, in case anybody wants to send me something that is worth anything, even a good wish, at Hillbilly.com. But my birthday's coming up here, and they have a whole month called Memphis in May. Of course, my mama said the town was celebrating my birthday, and I believe it. And they have this barbecue cook-off with over 200 barbecue tents from all over the world. I'm telling you, if that's your last day on the planet, honey, you went down pretty good. The smell of that barbecue over the Mississippi River on the top of Tom Lee Park is something that is truly metaphysical.
Yeah.
And I must say, I never met a physical I didn't like.
Don't you think, though, that in all seriousness, there is something spiritually latent and magic about the American Southeast? I mean, there is an energy there that you can feel that's almost so palpable that you can feel it when you breathe the air in.
Well, when you come to my show, I have a song that's all about that, too, called Somewhere to Come From. I love all my songs because they were created, you mentioned the word organically, and I created the title song, The Hebrew Hillbilly, myself, and the other songs I either wrote with Kenny Hirsch, a major songwriter and keyboard player, and Harold Payne, who just got a huge award for the Bravest Man in the Universe, the last album done by Mr. Legendary Bobby Womack. Well, if this was down south, they'd say I'm in high cotton, because I've had wonderful people to work with, over my career.
Yeah.
And I do think that there is something magical about the South, and I think it has to do with big elements. It has this Delta Earth.
I agree.
And it's red, and it's rich.
I agree, and we keep our ghosts close there, right? We keep our living people, our family close, and our ghosts even closer.
Yeah, exactly. And when I'm home. It's these trees and the sound of, they're not crickets. Somebody corrected me recently, but they sound like cricket. And just the whole sound smells, and
yeah,
the blues is still alive and well. I love it, but I do love L.A. And L.A. has been really good to me because I think that L.A. because it's there.
Yeah.
Got to put a story to tell.
Yeah.
And we can all find a niche. Don't you agree?
I agree. So should we play Somewhere to Come From? Because we're talking about that. I'd love to do that.
Oh, that'd be fantastic.
All right, let's do it. This is Shelley Fisher, and this is from her CDs called Rockin' in Memphis. And this is Somewhere to Come From. It's the Sheena Metal Experience on LA Talk Radio. Here we go, folks.
Things don't look so good in my own neighborhood. My car is breaking down, will hardly take me into town. I got a place I call my own. It's more than a house to me. It's home, my home. Somewhere to come from, everybody needs. Somewhere to come from, with old familiar seas. It's nice to hit that highway for places new and strange, but there's a special kind of comfort knowing some things never change. Like a trip to the attic when it's too cold to go outside. Somewhere between the must and dust, the hidden treasures lie. Your baby shoes, your hand in clay, a picture of your first birthday, like it's always been that way. Somewhere to come from, everybody needs. Somewhere to come from, with old familiar seas. Nice to hit that highway for places new and strange, but there's a special kind of comfort knowing some suddenly it's over, over much too soon. Somewhere to come from, everybody needs somewhere to come from with old familiar seeds. It's nice to hit that highway for places new and strange, but there's a special kind of comfort knowing some things never change. Never, 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 never gonna change. Never, 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 never gonna change. I'm packing my bags, heading for home. I'm making my way back to the place where I was born. Somewhere to come from, yeah. Somewhere to come from. Somewhere to come from.
Absolutely beautiful. It's the Sheena Metal Experience on LA Talk Radio. That's Shelley Fisher, Somewhere to Come from her CD, Rockin' in Memphis. And she's got a one-woman show that she's doing on April 11th at the Santa Monica Playhouse. Shelley, give us the information on that, would you? And then we're going to talk some more and play another song.
Oh, you're the best. Sheena Meadow, you are the best. I really, really, really appreciate it. My next show in Los Angeles, Santa Monica, California, is Saturday, April 11th at 8 p.m. at the Santa Monica Playhouse at 1211 Street in South Wilshire. It's a great little theater. They've been around for 54 years. And, of course, they're way older than I am. Ha, ha, LOL. But, and they can find out more about it at brownpapertickets.com, HebrewHillbilly.com, and my whole schedule. Can I tell you my rest of my schedule?
Please.
Okay. I'm still in L.A. Saturday, May 16th. That's my special birthday party. I'm not going to tell you how old I am, but if anybody out there has a May birthday as a Taurus, please be in the house. We're going to have a party with champagne and cake and everything. Saturday, June 13th, my special summer show at 8 p.m. Then we're going to be heading out to Kansas City for a big show at the White Theater. We're going to be in the fall, winter season. We're going to Fort Lauderdale, Florida, to the Empire Theater. We have a lot of great things coming up in here. And the best thing I can think of is having you in the house on April 11th at Santa Monica Playhouse, y'all.
Well, and you know, Shelley, or maybe you don't, that I'm an Aries, so the April 11th show's during Aries, and that's my April 2nd's my birthday.
Well, please come out. Let's celebrate. When's your birthday?
April 2nd. It's a week from tomorrow.
Oh, April 2nd. Oh, my goodness. Okay, you come on out, and we're going to celebrate your birthday, April 11th.
I love that story. You're fantastic. Where, what should we play? What are you feeling? I think I have most of the CD now. I'm not sure. I've got at least half of it.
Have you got Down Home Diva? Because I want you to hear something that Harold Payne and I wrote, because these last two gems were written by yours truly and Kenny Hirsch. And this next song, Down Home Diva, which is my opening song, which I think has a whole lot of attitude, was written by Harold Payne and myself, Shelley Fisher. If you have it, I would love for you to play it.
I got
and then
it.
Maybe a little bit of Hebrew Hillbilly.
I got it. Maybe we can even do them both back to back. Let's try. We're going to try. This is the wonderful Shelley Fisher, and this is Down Home Diva, and this is from her album Rockin' in Memphis. It's the Sheena Metal Experience on LA Talk Radio. Here we go.
How y'all do? Ready to party? We gonna do it the way we do it down south. That's right. With cornbread and cleavage and a little bit of grits on the side. Is that okay? Uh-huh. I said, is that okay? Mm-hmm. Well, I'm a down-home diva. down low. Said I'm a down home diva, yeah. Ain't your ordinary girl. Do it nice and easy, then I'm gonna rock your world. I want you to check this out. One man on the left and one man on the right, and the one right here in the middle, you wanna stay all night, 'cause I'm a down-home diva. I tan you 50 shades of blue. Oh yes I will. Down-home diva, a show make a believer. How do you? No man can resist me. No, no. You know they crave my southern charms. I said no man can resist me. They'll just be slaving for my charms. Who ain't never gonna quit me once I got you in my arms? Yeah. One man on the left and one man on the right, and the one right here in the middle, you wanna stay all night, 'cause I'm a down-home diva. I tan you 50 shades of blue. Oh yes I will. Yes you will. Down-home diva, a show make a believer. How do you feel? So good, I'm gonna say it for you one more time. Down-home diva, a show make a believer. Show make a believer. Show enough make a believer. How do you make a believer? Yeah, 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 yeah.
You're listening to the Sheena Metal Experience with your host, Sheena Metal, right here on LA Talk Radio.
I'm just a semi-wealthy Southern Jewish princess, and I love to sing that good old rock and roll. Raised up on gefilte grits, specialize in Hebrew hits and other kinds of funky kosher soul. Some say I don't look it, 'cause my nose ain't got no hook. It kinda sits there just as Gentile as can be. That don't mean I don't believe. Got a tree in Tel Aviv and a tattoo on my heart says Israel. Born out of a matzo ball, y'all. Got a darling southern drawl. Proud I got the South inside my mouth. Living down in Dixieland, to me it was just Chicks-a-land. Fried chicken and latkes every Friday night. Always used a kosher fork till I smelled forbidden pork. Barbecue brought me to my knees. It may sound a little silly, I'm a Hebrew hillbilly from the Mississippi Delta in Memphis, Tennessee. All right, y'all. From the Mississippi Delta in Memphis, Tennessee. Come on and listen to my rebel yell. From the south of Israel, said, honey, that's all. Have a matzo ball, yo. Howdy. Minnie Pearlstein is in the house.
Completely amazing. It's the Sheena Metal Experience on LA Talk Radio. Shelley Fisher, that was a double dose of her doing a Down Home Diva and then Hebrew Hillbilly. And if you don't know everything about her, you need to know by then you just weren't listening. Shelley, thank you so much for being here, my friend. Where again is your show, and where's the best place people can find you online?
First of all, I just can't thank you enough. I feel, you are so comfortable. I feel like I know you're not like you are definitely my new BF.
I feel the same way, my friend. Absolutely.
For your Arian's birthday celebration, April 11th, Santa Monica Playhouse. For the Hebrew Hillbilly, 50 Shades of Oy Vey. Now, Sheena, I call it, I added that 50 Shades of Oy Vey because Oy Vey kind of means, oh my God, you're kidding me, and on and on and on. And everybody's life is filled with ups and downs and in and outs. It's all about how you handle life, not how life handles you.
Absolutely.
It's like I pretend I'm Mae West in the show, and I say, I wonder how Mae West made it in Hollywood. And then I say, I have always believed that courage is just fear that set it to prayers, and I spend a lot of time on my knees.
It's beautiful and probably true. You're magic, my friend. Thank you so much for being here. And one more time, where can people find you online?
HebrewHillbilly.com. I want to wish y'all a very happy Easter, happy Passover. May this season of spring bring you all renewal of mind, body, and spirit. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Your music is amazing, and you're such a talent. Thank you so much for being here, Shelley. If you missed any of the links on this great artist, SheenaMetalExperience.com, LATalkRadio.com. Send me an email, and I will gladly forward the links over to you. It's the Sheena Metal Experience on LA Talk Radio, and you know what we do here, people. Every Monday through Friday, 5 to 7 p.m. Pacific Time, we rip the veil off the human sideshow and expose those big old homo sapiens at their most bizarre, and every day and always at their most beautiful. And it's true, it may be my show, but did you know what it really is? It's your experience. Thanks for listening. Have a great night, and I'll see you all tomorrow right here on LA Talk Radio.
Irreverent, entertaining, cool. You're listening to LA Talk Radio.